first things I'm going to ask you guys to do as homework, okay, is tonight when you get back to your homes or to your rooms, for those of you who are traveling, I need you to go into the bathroom, turn on the lights, close the door, get real quiet, and look in the mirror into your eyes. Don't look at your face. Look into the little windows on your soul. Ask yourself a question. Do you lie to yourself? And if you say no the first time, then you need more mirror time. Okay? You need to find out just what is your level of self-deception. Because if there's one thing that is true about trading, you must be brutally honest with yourself. You fool yourself. You play mind games. Oh, I know this is a good company. I'll hold it just a little bit longer. It'll come back. That smacks of hope, people. We don't hope. We follow a plan. And if you lie to yourself and you go, I'm not going to follow this plan. I'm not going to honor this stop loss. I know. You don't know. The best we can do as good traders is put probability on our side. So what would be the watchword for the trader? How about, to thine own self be true? I don't care how you treat your family, or I do, but the most important thing is that you be cruelly and brutally honest with yourselves. And we'll talk about some of the little foibles, little pitfalls that you guys already have and how we can overcome them. The next thing, of course, is the challenge of trading. Okay? Is it a passion or is it a passing fancy? Well, in these days, after the big breakup of the tech sector in 2000, we find that the students that come in here are a lot more serious. But certainly in the 98s, 99s, and 2000s, the people that were coming into the classrooms were the get-rich-quick kids. Okay? Oh, just show me that buy button. You ready? And everybody was doing it, so we had to do it. That was their attitude. Nowadays, most of the people who come into Online Trading Academy are very, very serious businessmen. They want to start a new business. And that's what we're trying to do for you guys. Just remember, you can trade part-time, you can trade full-time, but you can't trade as a hobby. You got to run it as a business. That means you have to account for everything. You know, not just your commissions. You got to account for the DSL or cable modem, whatever your internet connection is. You've got to account for the paper clips, your pencils, your pens, obviously your computer and your commissions and any other fees that come along. You got to run it like a real business. You got to sit down, have a set of books. You ready? It can't be a passing fancy. You've got to want to do this. You've got to be determined to do it. Okay? And it doesn't matter whether it's trading or setting up a Ben & Jerry's ice cream store or a Payless shoe store. Whatever franchise or small business you'd be starting up needs the same work, diligence, and effort as it does to start a trading business. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So you have to have a passion for this. You want to really do it. That's what the challenge is. Okay. The third item there is building a foundation. Well, obviously, you guys have taken the first step. I applaud you. You should applaud yourselves. Look around. This is a small class. There are 285 million Americans out there who haven't stepped out of the herd. You guys have. You've looked for a better way, and we hopefully, over the course of this class, will give you that way. But you've stepped aside. You're different. Do you guys understand that? You really do need to pat yourselves on the back a little bit. And of course, the starting of all this is getting a good formal education. Everybody has tried trial and error is fairly expensive. You've got to go into trading, though, with a positive approach. Alrighty? Trading is very, very stressful on you. Okay, so you have to be careful about keeping your mind and your spirit up. You've got to think that you can do this. Okay, you've got to have some determination about this. And I don't want to say you have to be Pollyannish, but you know, it's yes I can, yes I can, yes I can, and other little old trains. Okay? And I look so much forward to the opening on a Monday of the market. It's not funny. Sunday night, I'm chomping at the bit. I mean, I've got a shining sword of information, a glee in my heart, and a need to compete. Okay, and that's what makes me tick. And you've got to come up with that kind of a vigor, that kind of a passion. You want to keep it positive at all times. Let's talk a little bit about market misconceptions. Do a little reality check here. The single biggest killer to you guys are your own expectations. Most people do want too much too soon. Alrighty? Not one of you guys is going to make $1 million by Christmas. Okay, this is a skill set. It has nothing to do with intelligence or academic education backgrounds, having an MBA or not having it. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with more things like self-character, determination, diligence, stick-to-itiveness, following a plan religiously, zealously setting out some rules and obeying them time after time after time. Okay? The first misconception put out by the media is that all traders fail. Okay, well, that's not true at all. Okay, in fact, it was surprising to me. I heard on CNBC they said, well, 80 to 85% of the day traders are losing all their money. And I went, wait a minute. How many people have heard this statement? It's by the Small Business Administration. 90% of all startup businesses fail in the first year. Has anybody ever heard that before? Yeah. So doesn't that sound like starting a trading business at least 5 to 10% safer than another small business, according to CNBC? Yeah, sure. Yeah, we find actually most of our students, those who open accounts after the class and are trading, get right into it and follow the rules, are successfully trading after a year. Okay, how many? When we had good figures, somewhere around 68, 70% of them were still doing well. What is well? Well, let's say $300 to $500 a day. And that's one of the things I want to talk to you guys about. Think about this. If you only made $300 a day and you did it 4 days a week, 10 months out of the year, well, if you get your handy-dandy calculators out, you're going to find that that's about $50,000. You can check me out a little later. Okay. Well, Mike, I'm making more than $50,000 a year now. I'm an executive. I've got an MBA. I'm working in this software company. I'm a real estate broker, and I'm making big money. Yeah, but I want you to think about some things here, people. First off, I said 4 days a week. So that means every weekend is a 3-day weekend. And I said 10 months a year. That means you get 2 months vacation. Most of you who are making more than $50,000 or $60,000 a year, you're working 50, 60 hours a week and getting your family and friends together for a rotten 5-day vacation is a nightmare. And by the time you get to Hawaii or wherever you're going, it takes you 2 days to decompress, and then you start worrying about packing to go back. Just about the time you relax, that 5 days is over. One of the great benefits to trading is being independent. Okay, I stand before you with a long sleeve shirt on, but I don't wear a tie because they can't make me wear a tie. I don't like ties. I think starting the day off with a noose around your neck is not a good idea. Okay? And so, you know, they would love to have me up here in a nice suit with a tie. No, because I want it to look nice for you guys, I wore a long sleeve shirt. But mostly I wear cutoffs and a t-shirt. Ready? You can make money in this market, okay? But you got to be careful about what to expect. Because if you set your goals too high and you fail, well, then that crushes you from a psychological point of view. On the other hand, I don't want you to have the idea that you're going to fail. You're going to get out of this exactly what you put into it. As much effort, time, and energy, that's how much is going to come back. Now, I'll let you guys answer this question. I had a student come up to me and said, well, Mike, if I only devote an hour and a half a week to trading, will I be as successful as somebody who devotes 8 hours a day? Well, duh. Okay? I mean, Tiger Woods isn't one of the greatest golf players in the world because he doesn't hit golf balls. That poor guy probably lives on a range. I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts that he hits 1,000 golf balls a day on average, maybe more. And when he isn't on the golf range, what is he doing? He's probably in a gym somewhere working out so that he can carry his clubs, make those big magnificent shots out of the deep grass and all that with strength and control. The man is devoted to his sport, to his business. And you don't have to have an MBA to be a good golfer. You don't have to have an MBA to be a good trader. So these are the misconceptions. No, you're not going to make money the first day. In fact, if our statistics of our students are any sort of a guide, we find that you guys are going to lose some money. I'm sorry. You're going to pay 2 tuitions. You've paid one to OTA. You're going to get that back from the broker-dealers, which is kind of fun. You can get them for a change. Okay, and you're going to pay a tuition to the market. Our job is to make sure you don't pay too much to the market. Our job is to ramp you up, okay, in your learning curve so that you can start to develop the skills that we're going to teach. But you have to hone them. You have to take them out and get experience and see them work in the real world. Doing it just in academics or reading a book, well, you've all read books. You already know that doesn't work. That's one of the reasons we insist on you trading live in here, not on demo, with real money, because it's different. It's not only different in execution, but it's different up here in your head. When you have pressure, when you have your money or ours on the line, you think differently. And we need to overcome that. The trading life is a double-edged sword. And by that I mean everything in trading is double-edged. We'll talk about that. But the trading life, I only trade these days from about 5 minutes, 10 minutes to 7 California time until about 8:30, maybe 8:45 California time. Okay? Wow, Mike, I want to do that. Well, that kind of belies that it takes me a couple of hours of homework every night and that I have to be constantly in tune with the financial world, not only the United States, but globally. I've got to know what's going on because the herd's going to react. Their sentiment is going to change depending on how they view our environment. So if we have one of these nasty terrorists blowing somebody up, whether it's in our country or somewhere else, it's going to affect our markets. So I'm constantly, even though I only trade for an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes a day, actual execution, I have to devote a great deal of my time to being focused on my world. And I've been doing this for a while. So you guys are going to have to work a little harder, huh? Good. The next thing is that you can't stop trading. Once you start, you can't pull out. People, there is as much to understanding the numbers and the graphing and charting. We're going to talk about all that. But that's all good stuff. But we also have to understand that there's a rhythm. There's an actual movement to the market. There's a dance step, if you will. Some days the market is a waltz. Some days it's a cha-cha. Okay? And you've got to know that rhythm. And you've got to start to feel it. And once you get that, boy, I'll tell you, your analysis and execution becomes a heck of a lot easier. The problem here is what? If you go on vacation, you step away from the market for a month, you lose that feel. And I like to go on vacation. I still dive a lot and take underwater photographs. And if I go down to the